DrBigMoney, we've got your messages, so we have the questions, the Reddit questions that I believe have been sent around probably every journalist and email that is available in the entire industry. So here we go. So the first question is, how rare will loot and gear be? So with DayZ, the standalone, one of the things we're doing is really going back to basics with it. So we're creating a massive amount of potential loot spawn locations with the idea of putting the loot spawn down a great deal. So we really want to make sure that the spawn amount is greatly reduced. So I guess the short answer to the question is very rare. Way more rare than the mod, especially seeing we're looking at having thousands of items. We only have hundreds at the moment, but as we get up, it means that certain items are like really rare. Yeah.
Stupidest phone in the world.
Right. Okay. I just had to figure out how to use the BlackBerry here. I used a Google Glass for the first time in a while. Sorry, I'm probably ruining your questions. Getting distracted on question number one. Okay. Is suicide an option? Question mark. Yes, suicide will be an option, most likely in the form of right-click on a weapon and then click suicide. Obviously, there's some controversial elements to that, but we really felt that it's a major part of the apocalypse. If you read a book like The Road, you can see it's very important in there, and I think if it's all right for literary work, then it's something that we need to seriously consider about. So it's going to be in there. Or maybe that question wasn't referencing the game. Maybe that was referring suicide was an option for me.
He's probably not with us anymore, poor guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, that's terrible. I shouldn't laugh about that. Actually, God, that's terrible. I'm going to get a lot of flack for that. Anyway, moving right along. We'll cut that in post-production, I'm sure. What is being done with the humanity system? So. The humanity system I think it served its purpose with the mod, but I think we can do better. So what we're going to do is we're going to push the alpha out, and hopefully we get this real core group of people who are the people who really want to play DayZ and really want to participate in the development. And hopefully those who have reluctance about it, they've seen it here, if they're reluctant about it, I really hope they don't buy into the alpha until they're comfortable with it. So we get people who really want to play the game. And those people, we'll get them to use the game, report on us how all the new features and all the new functions work, and then we'll talk about what to do with the humanity system, because I think we need to come up with something quite different. Like blood appears on your hands if you're looting a body that's reasonably dead, your face grimaces, things like that. We've talked about a lot of different options, and I think we need to experiment and work with the community to come up with something. So. Next question, can we expect random events upon initial release, like downed alleys, abandoned campsites? So with the random events, we don't want to manufacture anything in the game. We want to build a stage where the players can actually go in and develop the world themselves. And I think that's really important for us. Like, it's kind of a tenet of the game design, is that we are sort of silently there just building the world, and the players are actually populating it. So my answer there is really no. The random events that will happen will be ones that are generated based on player activity. Yeah. Anything done to increase disorientation, like confirming kills and start locations? Absolutely. So the kill messages are removed. We've removed a lot of the UI, providing a lot of feedback in a very similar way to Space Station 13, text and sound based, and I think that's going to greatly increase disorientation. Will zombies be enough of a threat that you will have to team up with random people? And will is written in capitals, so it's very important emphasis there. I think that a number of things are going to encourage people to interact with each other. So that interaction could be neutral, such as trading, or it could be positive, such as teaming up. And I think that includes all the health systems, the complex health systems, like run around without shoes on and you'll get like sore feet and then eventually stress fractures and limp around, as well as the zombies being improved. Now, you can see the zombies, and in the gameplay we showed, unfortunately Matt forgot to explain that we've implemented this new animation system. The new animation system allows us to do things like jumping attacks and a whole bunch of other sequenced attacks, but we haven't made the event handler for that yet. So the effect of the attack at the moment as a placeholder happens half a second after the animation's played, which means that it looks like crap. Yeah, but that's going to be changing next week. So what we're hopeful is that people who are reluctant now will see the dev blogs and hopefully see us improving, and if they don't see us improving, then hopefully they don't buy the game and we learn our lesson. Yeah, so I think that the answer is yes, but it's something we have to work at. Where are we? Will there be anything to balance out the clear advantages bandits have in the game? The idea is to provide a lot more options for players to choose from and how they play the game and how they interact. The medical system clearly gives an advantage to teaming up. The problem is bandits are usually very organized. They're the ones who are really teaming up. So yeah, I think this is going to be an ongoing thing that we work at, providing options for players to play as a hero. So the answer is yes. And I think though, in terms of coming up with specific stuff, we need to wait until you guys have played the alpha. The idea is to tidy up what we have now and fix up what we have now, get your guys' feedback, and then we start developing other stuff. I'm sure you can see from what we've got here, once we've fixed that up, you guys need to test it and let us know how it goes. The other one is, will colonization be possible, i.e. eradicating zombies from zones? Yes, that's actually possible now. It's one of the advantages of an MMO architecture. All the zombies are spawned server side, so once you clear a zone, like a town, the zombies won't spawn in that zone, but roving zombies can move through, or zombies could be alerted from a nearby town and run towards you. Will there be any form of barricading system? Now, this is something that we kind of wanted to maybe show because our programmer committed it last night. You can, we're developing a system, it's not 100% confirmed yet, but where you can, exactly how it's going to work, where you can gather resources from areas like trees and rocks and stones. You can also pick up items in the world with your hands, walk around with those items and drop them down. So you'll be able to use those items to make barricades. But I think before putting your hand on my hand on my heart and saying that's going to be in there, wait until we show you that in a dev blog. But yeah, hopefully that's a good enough answer for that question for now. Barricades on windows and doors. When I talked to our lead artist, he cringed about that because putting the functionality for that in would be quite a bit of work for our artists. It's on our list, but it's yeah, it's something that we'd see later. It's not something that will be into the alpha. How many items, weapons, food will be in standalone at release? I guess is that release for alpha? At release for alpha, it'll be whatever is in the build. There's no target, but probably hundreds. The aim is at the end to have thousands. What options will be available for base building? Nothing for the alpha. Later on in the year, we'll start to look towards it. What I really want to do is an instance style, like Skyrim, walk up to a grate in the ground, go into a cavern, and then from there, Red Faction style, digging out the cavern. But that might not be possible for technical reasons with multiplayer, in which case we would go for more, those who played Evil Genius, like isometric style base building where you run around it. Okay, we're back. What are your plans to making the North more attractive? So I think I did, right? Yeah. I showed in the video, the other video VG247 did, a quick flyby, whole bunch of new areas that are based on real world terrain in there with villages, a whole bunch of stuff in there. So I think that's going to make it a lot more attractive. Also, with the complicated loot spawn mechanisms we have now, looting the stuff into the North will definitely be very worthwhile. And am I planning anything to prevent loot farming? So this is again, we want to get the alpha out and then try some things out. So one of the things we'll probably do is what we talked about with the mod, which is monitoring when a player swaps to another server, and if they do it too many times, then they will receive a warning, and yeah, they'll be frozen from that. So that's what we're planning there. Right, I take a breath. Melee combat. Will melee combat work great, good, okay, or just bad like it does in the mod? Now I'm going to be realistic here and say okay. I think that achieving something great or good will be very difficult. Look, I mean, you know, I'm hopeful we could pull that off, but being realistic, I think the minimum would be okay. So it's not going to be like the mod. We're actually building a specific system for that purpose, and yeah, so I'm comfortable with that, and we'll be able to show you that, and you'll be able to judge it for yourself in the dev blogs coming up. Will shooting at and hitting another person's gun break their weapon / scope / magazine? Yes. This is one of the advantages of the weapon for entities, which is why I've made you wait for DayZ for another maybe a bit more than 6 months. I just kind of gave away something there. No, not really. And so yeah, will they be shooting at and hitting another person's gun? The answer is yes. We still need to do a bit of work on damage textures, but it uses Arma's damage texture system from vehicles and stuff like that. Yeah. Will it be possible to damage items by shooting at them? Yes and no. So when an item spawns at the moment, the server stops calculating simulation on it to save on performance. So if we continue doing that, they won't receive damage in a typical way. So it's kind of a yes and a no. We just sort of see how that develops. Will there be high-tech army loot like night vision and sniper? Question mark. Yes, there will. But what we're looking at doing, it might make it into the alpha release, otherwise it'll make it in early on in the alpha, is having a central server run by us dedicated to the economy. So it actually tells the servers what loot they can spawn. And that way we'll be able to control the amount of night vision across the entire world. So all the servers in the entire world. And so yeah, we're going to use that to control the amount of items that are available in the economy. So for example, we might say across all DayZ servers, there can only be 100 night vision. So that means if there are 50 players with night vision on them, only 50 servers can spawn night vision on them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet, okay. So it's been a long day, okay? So, will there be stamina / speed connection with the amount of stuff one is carrying? Oh, it was very well written. Yeah, so at the moment we're just going to stick with the alpha. I guess this is the overarching theme of this. We're going to tidy up what is in the alpha at the moment and actually allow people to give us feedback on how and whether we should do a weight and stamina system. So we'll look at that going forward because you can really screw that up. Right, we've got 4 more questions. This is poll number 3 now we're on. How complex will / can crafting become? Very complex, but we want to keep it all within the UI. I'm going to do a specific dev blog on crafting coming up because what's happened is we've built this wonderful architecture. We've got all these like hundreds of items made, but we haven't had time to configure them because somebody went off and climbed a mountain. I don't know who would do that. So that somebody is going to be very busy when they get back from E3 configuring all the crafting, and yeah, we'll do a specific dev blog. We had wanted to show it all here, but we just run out of time. Will a degradation system work on the backpacks and clothing? For the moment, we're really looking mainly at degradation on damage. So if you get shot in the chest and you're wearing a hoodie, the hoodie will become degraded, and on running on shoes. So if you run around a lot, your shoes will start to degrade. We'll look at doing more with backpacks and clothing later on once we come up with a good mechanic. Ballpark on pricing. I don't really want to say anything yet because I don't entirely make that decision. I'm the one who's pushing for it to be more pricey than Bohemia, so send the hate mail to me. But it's going to be cheap, very cheap with the alpha, and get progressively more expensive.
$499.
That's right. It's going to be 2 easy payments of $1 and one rather difficult one of $400. So, yeah. What someone actually believe that? Yeah. Oh. Okay. Will user-created maps such as Sarani, which it isn't actually user-created, but don't worry, Namalsk, and Taviana be ported in the future. Look, the user created stuff is freaking amazing. So we want to work with these guys. I know the guy who made Nonetheless, kind of well. I think I've talked to him a bit on Twitter and stuff. So we want to actually approach these guys. There's a bunch of options we're considering from the future, like maybe we could give them resources, give them some training, and actually really, do some good ports. But we need to figure that stuff out. So I think watch this space. Bohemia's really committed to modding. Unfortunately, with the standalone, we needed to sort the hacking and security first before we look at that. So that's kind of a watch this space, and yeah, we'll see what happens with that. And I made it to the end of the list, and I haven't lost my voice. Kind of proud of myself right now. So thank you, Reddit and DrBigMoney for sending that through. And yeah, so it was really good that I was able to get that done. So, and big thanks to VG247 for making that happen. Like, I think it's really good that the community is able to get involved and ask them questions.
Thanks for basically doing my job.
Yeah.
Cheers.